So I think in the school system, they don't want us to learn about money because they just want to pump out good employees that do what they're told. I mean, if you look at school, it's opposite of what it takes to be successful in real life. Don't make a mistake. Do as you're told. Take tests by yourself. Don't cooperate. Do it by yourself. Do it on your own. And the last thing was, there's only one right answer. No, there's tons of answers to a problem. So you come out of school scared to death of making a mistake. You do everything on your own. You don't cooperate. There's no synergy. There's no brainstorming. And there's only one right answer. Everybody wants to get the right answer. There's no one right answer. So I think people come out of school paralyzed. I think the school system is criminal in that it kills a child's spirit of learning. You know, a child goes into school all excited about, yeah, I'm gonna learn and it's gonna be great. And then the teacher says, sit down and shut up. Don't talk. We don't care what you're interested in. Did anybody in school ever ask you, did a teacher ever ask you, Brian, what are you interested in? I never did. I never did. So they just teach you what they want to teach you instead of finding out what the child is interested in and teaching to that. So I think kids come out of school scared to death of making a mistake. They come out paralyzed. They don't know what they want to do because their spirit and their creativity has been crushed inside of them. So you almost have to do a whole reprogramming once you get out of school so you can find out what it is that excites you, what it is that where your passion is. And we just launched a product on finding out what's most meaningful to you. Because once you can discover what's most meaningful, then decisions and life becomes so much easier because there's more joy, there's more better communication with relationships. But they don't teach any of this in school. They just say, sit down, do as you're told, take the test by yourself, and don't make a mistake.
Yeah, gosh,
I think it's criminal.
I've got boys that are 2 and 3 years old, and I'm just thinking I don't want them to do that, you know? And then you get out of school, and what's the first thing you get is the paycheck.
Yes.
Talk about that, because you get the paycheck and then you're waiting for the next paycheck.
Yes.
What does that do for the entrepreneurial spirit?
Oh, kills it. Absolutely kills it. And a lot of people are addicted to that paycheck. They're so afraid to venture out on their own and not have the security of that paycheck. You know, a lot of times we say, if you have a full-time job, keep your full-time job, start a part-time business and work it and work it and work it. Look at what you do in your spare time. And people go, I have no spare time. Well, yes, you do. If you broke it out, how much are you watching TV? How much are you on your iPhone, playing video games, doing things that really are not important? And take that time and channel it into the business that you want to create. But for me, I had the paycheck, and my dad was in corporate America, and he was in sales. And I was always taught, get the pay raise. If I'm working an hourly rate, work more hours, raise my hourly rate. It was always focused on making more income, making more income, making more income. The shift for me came finally after I was on my 10th or 12th property. Finally, I'm like, don't keep focusing on that paycheck and that income, focus on acquiring assets. And that was a big shift. Instead of focusing on acquiring income, I shifted it to acquiring assets, and then the assets create the income. That was a big change for me.
That's powerful.
They say like 50% of businesses fail. And I think what happens for a lot of first-time business owners, they're coming out of a job. So they're coming out of an employee mindset. And I know this one guy, for example, in Phoenix, Arizona, and he decided he was going to start his own business. And he had been an employee all his life. So what's the first thing he does? He goes and rents a nice office space. Then he buys all the nice furniture. Then he gets a secretary. He hasn't made not $1, and he spends all this because he thinks that's what an entrepreneur looks like. Versus, go make the money first, then go rent your office. If you even need an office, start out of your home. We all started, all the entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs I know, all started out of their home.
Yeah, we did too here at London Real.
There you go. Cashflow board game was created on our dining room table.
Right.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad was written in our house. So I think that employee mindset, and if you are an employee, if you can get that entrepreneurial mindset even as an employee, oh my gosh, you're going to be so much more valuable to the owner of your company because you're going to think the way they think. I think that's really, really important. And I came across a study, and it was a study of centenarians, people that had lived over 100, and they wanted to find what were the common denominators, and they found 3. And one was they had a sense of purpose. It didn't matter how big or small, but they had a sense of purpose. Number 2, they were optimistic. And number 3 was resiliency, how well you come back from a setback. When you hit that wall, do you fall down? Do you get up? Do you go through it? And I'm like, those seem like the three characteristics of a good entrepreneur to me. Sense of purpose, optimistic, and resilient.
Yeah.
If you're not resilient and you can't persevere, do not become an entrepreneur. Do not do it. You're just going to be. It'll be a exercise in futility.
Is it not for everyone?
It's not for everyone.
Right.
No.
But I do think that if people try it, they'll learn a lot about themselves very quickly.
Yes.
And if you can do it, like you said, part-time.
Yeah.
It's a great way to learn.
Yeah. Because then I think you'll make better decisions because you kind of have the safety net of your paycheck. So the decision. So when Robert and I started the Rich Dad Company, we had a vow that every decision we made would not be a decision for what put money in our pocket, but for what furthered the mission. That was the vow. And at that time we were financially free, so we had that cushion. We didn't have to worry about that. But a lot of people I see, they quit their job, they start their part-time business, and because they're struggling for money, they make bad decisions because they're just trying to find how to put money in their pocket to keep their business alive. So I think if you are an employee, that's a smart way to go. What you just said, to start a part-time business, start learning what it takes. The reality, you got to get the reality of what it takes. It's not about making money. It's about how do you serve the most people? How do you be the best contribution to humanity? So that was that was where my mind was, and that's what Robert's mind is. So the more people I serve, the more effective I become, is as we can get our message and our work out to as many people as possible, then we're going to be fulfilling our purpose and our mission. That's always been, and I think for any business owner, I say, there's 3 things to a business. Number 1, what problem does your business solve? And 2, how do people hear about you? And how do you grow it? So if you're chasing just to chase the money and get, reach the masses because they're going to give you more money, versus how do I serve these people? And if I'm serving them, the money's going to come. And it's not about do what you love and the money will follow. It's not that. It's do what you love. Where's the problem you're solving? Where can you be a contribution? Then you work your butt off and then the money will come.